How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Sadie here. So, it's been a while since I've last done any kind of, I guess, stories or anything like that. But, I might as well talk about this one since it's still at least somewhat fresh in my mind. After all, it happened like a couple weeks ago. And this is probably one of the strangest experiences I've had. So, a little bit of background here, okay? Obviously, I've moved to, Orlando and whatnot. And the thing is, I don't have, a driver's license. I just have a learner's permit, meaning that I can't exactly drive unless I have someone that is, fully licensed, in, the passenger seat or whatever. And then again, even if I did have a driver's license, I don't even own a car, so, a lot of good either one of these actually end up doing me, to be fair, but I can't drive, and I don't even have a car to drive. Meaning that the only way I can get to, certain places that are further away from my apartment is pretty much by taking the bus, and thankfully, the buses aren't, extraordinarily crowded or anything like that. It's not, crazy or anything like that. The longest part is just simply waiting the god knows how long that it takes for the frickin' buses to actually finally arrive, because they never arrive on time. It's usually 10 minutes after, Google Maps says that it's supposed to arrive, so that's always just a thing that I always go by. I'm usually just kind of waiting there. There's usually, maybe one other person that also shares the apartment, with me. They go to the same school that I do, so, sometimes we end up just kind of waiting there together. This time, I was just waiting there by myself. I'm just sitting there and waiting for the bus, listening to some music, and this lady rides up to me on her bike and whatnot. I think she was, judging by how she looked, I think she was probably maybe mid-20s or so. I don't exactly know. She rides up and she kind of stops near me, and she turns her attention towards me, and she begins to talk to me. So I just kind of decide to, listen just in case, she has, a question or, needs to tell me, something or whatever it is, I don't know. I, pay attention to her, and what she says is, hey, you look like someone that I know. It was something along those lines, you remind me of someone, or, you look like someone that I met, or whatever it was. I'm fairly certain that maybe, a few people that are watching this have probably had a similar experience where it's just kind of mistaken identity. Someone thinks that you're someone else, and you have to explain, no, I have no idea who the hell you are. I don't even know this place that well to even know that many people. And, that's what I kind of started to say. I was just saying, yeah, I think you probably have me confused for someone else. But the thing is that, she continues to try and go along this route of, I definitely know you, we definitely know each other, she asked this question of, did you go to, this high school that was nearby? I can't remember, I can't remember the specific name, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't even say it, so, did you go to this high school that's around the area? And I was just like, nope, I mean, I've only recently started living here around Orlando, so, I couldn't have even gone to a high school around here. And, you would think that that would be enough for her to just kind of go yeah, maybe you're kind of right. But she continues to go along this path of, I swear I know you, I swear we know each other, it's just kind of I don't exactly know the places that she's talking about. But the one thing that ends up completely changing the tone of the conversation is this one question where she just simply asks me, are you sure you didn't go to this church that's nearby? I can't exactly remember. And, my answer was pretty simple, and, it was just simply no. And, I kind of added on to that one, and, this is pretty much, true for the most part. I haven't really heavily gone to church, in forever. I'd say at least a good, maybe, 7 or 10 years. I can't exactly remember the last time I ever went. My answer is pretty simple. I just simply say I haven't gone to church in a while, and that's what ends up changing the tone of the entire conversation. Her facial expression changed just the slightest amount to where I could just tell that, god damn it, I probably just made a mistake by saying that, I said a little bit too much, and now I've awakened a demon, alright? So, she kind of continues to kind of question me about this, about, are you sure you haven't gone to church? How have you not gone to church in so long? And I would just seem I just haven't been to a church, I'm not really that much of a religious person, I just start kind of saying that. But the thing is that this is the part in which just things just start going all over the place. You know, this is where the entire conversation just becomes a blur, and I can only remember like a few key points within this entire conversation, because pretty much the main things that I can remember is that it just kept on going all over the place, and she kept on cutting me off when I was trying to answer. That's pretty much the only thing that I can remember for really anything that was going on within this entire conversation. So, you know, it starts going, you know, along like that. You know, I try to answer whatever it is that she's talking about, and she keeps on cutting me off whenever I try to answer. And, you know, there were a few questions that I just remember, and I'm just gonna kind of, you know, go over them here. One of the first ones I remember was just gonna be like, you know, are you sure you haven't watched, like, I think it was like CBN or something like that. And the thing is that, you know, I wasn't exactly sure what it was. I remembered the acronym, you know, hearing about it from like somewhere, and, you know, after I got home from school, I pretty much decided to look it up to see, you know, if my original assumption was right. And, well, my original assumption was that it was that one television network where all the scam evangelists hang out, and, you know, I was pretty much right. So, you know, but, you know, she was just like, are you sure you know, do you watch, you know, CBN and whatnot? And I'm just like, no, I haven't really heavily watched TV in forever. So, you know, like, pretty much the closest I really ever get to any watching any kind of television, you know, is just simply, you know, just watching stuff that's on the DVR with my family, and that's really about it, you know. I start answering with that, and, you know, she immediately follows that up with, you know, how is it possible that you own a phone, but yet you apparently haven't watched the TV? And again, you know, she cut me off before I could even finish my answer, so, you know, I couldn't exactly say, you know, that it isn't that I haven't watched TV, it's that I haven't watched it in a while. From there, you know, there was a few other back and forth things that were going on. The next thing that definitely I remember, this one, like, loud and clear, was just simply just a question of, you know, if I were to tell you that I was, like, you know, like God speaking to you or something like that, then, you know, how would you react? And this is a question that even now just completely threw me for a loop. Like, I was just like, how in the hell am I supposed to answer something like this? Because, like, how would you answer something like that? Like, you know, I think my answer was probably just something along the lines of, you know, I guess that's cool and whatnot, you know, whatever. Like, I was just like, I didn't know how to answer. That's literally it. It was just such a curveball of a question, just out of completely left field, and I had no idea how to respond to it. Like, how would you respond to it? It just came in out of nowhere, and I don't know how to even process it. And then, you know, towards the end of the conversation, I remember this one last thing that she said before, you know, some other parts of the conversation happened, and then she kind of wrote off. You know, she basically said, you know, when you, like, pretty much almost verbatim, she pretty much said, you know, when you said that you weren't a believer, that really hurt my feelings. And, you know, when she said that, I was just like, I didn't mean to, you know, hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to, you know, do anything to, you know, hurt your feelings or anything like that. I'm just not really, you know, a religious person whatsoever. But obviously, I get cut off before I even finish that sentence and whatnot. And, you know, another, like, 10 or 15 seconds of just, you know, me getting cut off as I try to answer whatever it is that she's trying to talk about happens before she rides off, and the thing that she leaves me with is, you know, you're gonna be burning in hell and whatnot, you know, in, like, the most happy-go-lucky tone as she's just riding off towards the end of the sidewalk towards a freaking crossroad, and I'm just sitting there just going, like, what the hell just happened? Like, again, like, from then on, it just became complete utter nonsense to the point where, like, I didn't know how to actually respond to any of it. It just happened completely out of nowhere, and even now, just trying to retell this story, I'm just completely confused. I don't even know how in the hell would you even respond to an ending like that, like an end of a conversation like that, where you're just being told that you're just gonna be frickin', you know, burning in a frickin' fiery pit and whatnot. Like, that's just people are crazy, man. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. That's very well appreciated. Yeah. Anyways, guys, this has been Sandy. Have yourselves a nice day.